Hello and welcome back. This week we are going to deal with the myth of it's a new one. It's the my spouse didn't do anything wrong, so I can't do this to them. And I say it's a new one because I think that society is changing so much. There used to be a time when relationships could only end because there was chaos, there was hatred, there was bitterness. It had to be awful in order to have a justification for it to end. But we are in a new paradigm. Nowadays, relationships are beginning to end simply because they ended. Hello, my name is Olga Nadal, and I'm the founder of Divorce for Love. It's an organization dedicated to changing the conversation around divorce, getting rid of all the stigma, the shame, the judgment, and helping those in the process with the resources and tools that they need. And part of changing the conversation is accepting that there is a new trend in society where more and more people are feeling the dissatisfaction in the relationships to an extent where they don't want to be in the relationship anymore. But in the past, you always had to have a reason, even legally, you had to have a reason in order to divorce. But because the negative connotations of divorce have been dropped, more and more people are feeling that it's something that they may be able to consider and it's going to improve their lives instead of being a devastating experience both for the spouse, for your children, your financial stability, and even your social status. I joke that when people ask me, what happened in your marriage? You guys were the perfect couple. And I tell them, yeah, we just ran out of a Netflix series to binge on, because there really was not a defining catastrophic event. There was no harm done. And yet people are still having a hard time understanding this. There is a term that we coined at Divorce for Love, and it's called the fulfilled marriage syndrome. It's a totally made up term. It's just something that we came up with because of that reason, because we were kind of sick and tired of people asking, but if there was nothing wrong, why did you end it? And there's this tendency nowadays that you need to have a disease condition. Everything has to have a label, like, oh, I have this disease, therefore this is the medication that I need to take. So we felt that saying the fulfilled marriage syndrome will be our, okay, yes, this was the disease, this was the label, that if you need a label, that's what it is. But it has a meaning behind it, and it's the fact that I believe that some relationships have an expiration date, and you are supposed to enjoy them while they are at their freshest, and you are supposed to grow in them and evolve and create everything that needed to be created. And then when the sell-by date has arrived, then you're supposed to let it go. Don't eat the spoils, don't try to bring it back to life. It's done. And that is the fulfilled marriage syndrome. Means that you have completed everything that you needed to complete in the relationship. You brought the children into this world, you created the businesses, you had the memories, and everything that needed to be said has been said. Everything that needed to be done has been done. Then it's time to let it go. And it's natural. There is always a tendency to look for someone to blame. That there is no need to blame. That nobody did anything wrong. The relationship simply ended. And I want this message to be very clear for those who are feeling so guilty because they want to leave their partners, and they feel like, well, they don't deserve this. What kind of a horrible human being I am. But know that you cannot be blamed for wanting to grow at a different pace, for not being able to continue to love them as you promised to do, and for not wanting to hurt them by staying for the wrong reasons. And also, you try and remove the guilt out of the equation, and the guilt is only because you can only foresee pain in the process of divorce, and what your partner is going to be left with is just going to be a painful experience. But there is something that we are not told about the power of pain and struggle and overcoming difficult situations in life, and it's that there is a strength, there is a wisdom, there is courage that you develop when you face the fear, the anxiety, the sadness that was caused by somebody saying this relationship is ended. And it's interesting how we can accept this concept in the new way that society works for jobs and careers. It used to be that you stay in the same career for your entire life, for your entire working life. And nowadays that seems inconceivable. And yet we do not accept the same approach for relationships. We do not think that maybe we are meant, maybe we are designed to be in several long-term relationships. That's an idea. Again, food for thought. You may or not agree. Let me know in the comments. Do you think that we are meant for one long relationship for the rest of our lives? Or is it possible to have several? That's all for this week. I really hope that you enjoyed, and that we'll see you next week. Thank you.
I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, share, and subscribe. Aloha and see you next Friday.